So we will do this ayat number 196 of Surah Al-Baqarah. This ayat is a very long ayat. This is like almost one third I wrote here. And this is where in the Surah Al-Baqarah the description of Hajj starts. Okay. So all the details, what should be done during Hajj, what should not be done during the Hajj, are instructed in this ayat. So we'll do a simple translation first and then we'll go and understand that. So keep in mind that one thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning here, that when people go for Hajj and either they are on their way to Hajj or they arrive and for some reason they could not perform the Hajj. If something happens, like some infectious disease is spread around, and they stop, the whole caravan or the entire ship or the entire plane is quarantined, people cannot go for Hajj, and they have to come back without performing the Hajj. So in this ayat, one part of this ayat is saying that if that happens, what should be done? Okay? So what is being said, that if that situation comes, then at least if you cannot go and perform the Hajj yourself, then do the sacrifice. And how to do the sacrifice? That whatever the animal that has to be sacrificed, send it with someone that person can do the slaughtering of the animal. So that is the first thing that is mentioned here in the first part of the ayat. And then after that, many other things are described, what should be done during the Hajj. Okay? So let's do a simple translation first and then we'll go and do the breakdown. So the ayat starts with A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem wa atimmul hajja. That means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ordering and commanding to the people, complete the Hajj. Atimmu is to complete. So complete the Hajj. Wal umrah, and complete the umrah. Okay. Then fa'in uhsirtum. Fa'in uhsirtum means if for some reason, as I mentioned, you are prevented, you are stopped from performing the Hajj. So what you should do? Famas taysara. So whatever easily is available, whatever easily can be made available, minal hadyi, from the sacrifice, from the animal to sacrifice, whatever that is available to you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that should be done. So just go and do the sacrifice and stop there at that point. Then some other details are mentioned here, which is the next part of the ayat, which says wala tahliqu ru'usakum. Okay. Now this part of the ayat applies for those who have gone for Hajj or Umrah. When you go for Hajj, you perform all the rituals of the Hajj, okay, which is doing the tawaf first. Then when the time comes, then you go to Mina. Then from Mina, when the day of Arafat comes, you go to Arafat. Then from Arafat, you go to Muzdalifah. Then from Muzdalifah, you come back to Mina. And when you come back, you do the sacrifice. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay, one more thing that has to be done here, that for the man, they have to shave their heads. Okay? At that time. And so this ayat says that do not shave your heads until the animal has been sacrificed. So when people come back from Muzdalifah, they arrive back in the area of Mina, and that is where the two things have to be done there first. One is sacrifice the animal, which is nearby, and then shave the head for the man. So these two things have to be done. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَلَا تَحْلِقُوا رُؤُوسَكُمْ, and do not shave your heads. Hatta, until يَبْلُغَ الْهَدْيُ مَحِلَّ, until the animal of sacrifice reaches to the place of sacrifice, which is the slaughtering place. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving a permission that if someone has some kind of sickness or some ailment of the head, or his head is hurting, or there's some issue with that, okay, and he cannot shave his head, okay, which may create more problems, then what should be done? Okay, so which is the next part? Faman kana minkum maridan. So whosoever among you is marid. Marid means sick person. He has a sickness. Aw bihi adam mir ra'sihi, or he has some hurting in his head. So what he should do? He cannot shave his head. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَفِدْيَةٌ مِّن صِيَامٍ. So there is a compensation for not doing that. Okay? There is a kafara, there is a fidya, there is a ransom, which is fasting. Okay? So he should fast. Okay? أَوْ صَدَقَةٍ, or he should give some charity. Or nusuk, or he should sacrifice. Okay, so these are the three options. Permission has been given that if someone cannot shave his head among the men, then he can pay or do one of these three things. And the ayat continues. There are many commands after this. Okay, so we'll take them next time. But let's look at the ayat here again from the beginning. Ayat starts with wa'atimmu. And, wa means and, okay. And the next word starts with these three letters, ta, mim and mim. Okay, these are three letters, okay, and they belong to this group of words we call fa'ala. And if we add one alif there, this meaning of these four letters, alif, ta, mim, mim, means to complete something. Atmama means to complete. Atmama means to complete something. Okay? And the word in the Quran is atimmu. Atimmu is an order, it's a command. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, all of you who go for Hajj, complete the Hajj. Means do all the things that are supposed to be done. So atimmu is from atmama, and that means order, command, complete. Okay? It means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, and complete. Okay? So this is atimmu. So the word is atimmu. Complete. And this is an order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do something, do it. Okay? What's to do? There are two words next to that. One is al-hajj and the other one is al-umrah. Okay? So the second word starts with these three letters, ha, jim and jim. Okay? And the word from that is hajjun. Hajjun means just simple. In English we say hajj, which is going and performing the action of hajj. That is, the original word is hajjun. Okay? Now also, if we put al before that, al means the, so the word becomes the hajj. Okay? And when you put al, these two dhammas or two pairs change into one, and the word becomes al-hajju. Al-hajju is the word that means the hajj. Okay? Al-hajju. So that word is coming after atimmu, means complete the hajj. Okay? And also by the rule that this is a verb, this is an action, this is a command, and this is a noun. So when a noun comes after the verb, the last letters dhamma changes into a fataha. So the word becomes al-hajja. Al-hajja still means the hajj, but this is the rule of the grammar, that when a verb and a noun come together, then the last sound of the letter becomes fataha. It becomes al-hajja, and that's the word, what it is in the Quran. Meaning is still same, the hajj, and complete the hajj. Is do all the requirements of the hajj. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning here. Okay. And then the second part is al-umrah. Okay. So that word starts with again 3 letters, which is Ain, Mim and Ra. Okay. And the word from that is Umratun. Umratun is the full word. Okay, that's what we call Umrah. Okay. Umrah is simply making the tawaf of the Kaaba. Umrah is only going around the Kaaba. Okay, put the ihram, go around the Kaaba 7 times, one Umrah is done. Okay. In Umrah, you don't have to do all other things. You don't have to go to Mina and Arafat and Muzdalifah and do the sacrifice or shave the head. Nothing has to be done. Umrah is just simple form of Hajj. Okay, which is
Sa'i is included in it?
Sa'i is included in Umrah, yes. Yeah, Sa'i or Umrah are done next to each other. So you have to do Sa'i and you have to do Tawaf of the Kaaba, and then one Umrah is done. Okay.
What is
Sa'i is, these are 2 small hills, and you have to go between those 2 7 times, Safa and Marwa.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is called Sa'i. That activity of going between 2 points is called Sa'i. And circling around the Kaaba is called Tawaf. And combination of these 2 is Umrah. And if it is the time for the Hajj, the other things are included in this thing. So you can do Umrah anytime, during the Hajj or after the Hajj or before the Hajj, but Hajj has to be during the Hajj season only. So the word is Umratun. So, and it is just written like that, Umrah in English, like this. And when you put al before that, the Umrah, okay, and al again removes one dhamma, so it becomes al Umratu, the Umrah, and again this word is coming after Atimmu, so this dhamma will change to Fatah. So Wa means and, the Umrah. Okay. Now after these 3 words, something very important is being mentioned, which is the word Lillahi. Okay. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here is mentioning that your intention should be only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So to li here means for, plus Allahu is the word Allah. Okay. And when you combine these, it becomes, this li is a harf jar, so it becomes Allahi. When you read together, it becomes Lillahi. Lillahi means for Allah. Okay? So here, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is instructing those who have believed at that time how to perform the Hajj. So until or before that, there were idols in the Kaaba. At the same time, people were doing a lot of other things during the Hajj. The people who lived in that area around Kaaba and the people who came from outside, they were doing a lot of things which were not actually the part of Hajj. And they were doing that, assuming that all this is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they had other things that were mixed up in it. So when Prophet ﷺ, he became the messenger and the people started believing in him, and then it became a society. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructed how to do the Hajj and Umrah, but the intention of doing should be only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Should not be intention of doing the business at the same time or something like that at the same time. So your niyat in your Hajj and Umrah should be only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Lillahi means for Allah. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning that, as I explained earlier, that if a situation arises, and I have actually witnessed a situation myself, I think this was something like 1970 or around that time, a full ship of Hajis left Pakistan and arrived at the coast there, Jeddah. And for some reason there was some disease that spread around, so the government stopped the complete ship, all the Hajis from getting off the ship. They quarantined the whole ship. Those people stayed on the ship for the entire duration, and then the ship came back without people getting off and doing the Hajj. Okay, and there was thousands of people in that ship. Okay, so things like that happen because millions of people are performing Hajj, and if few hundred or few dozens people came in there with some sort of infectious disease, then it will spread during the Hajj. So they stop the whole ship from people getting off. Okay? So that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning that فَإِنْ أُحْصِرْتُمْ. So let's look at these words. Okay? So first word is fa, and the second word is in. فَإِنْ. In means if. So if something happens. Okay? فَإِنْ. And after that is the word ha, swad and ra. These are the three letters. Okay? And if we add alif in there, the meaning of ahsara is to prevent. Okay. Ahsara means to prevent something from happening. Okay? Or to restrict something or to stop something. Okay? That is ahsara. Okay? And ohusirtum is you are prevented. Ohusirtum means tum brings the meaning of you. Ohusirtum, you are prevented. Okay? So something happened and you have already arrived there, and because of that you are stopped. You are not allowed to go and perform the Hajj. Okay? That is the meaning. فَإِنْ. So if you are stopped or you are prevented. Ohusirtum means you are not permitted to complete your Hajj. Okay? So that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying. So if you are prevented. Okay. You are stopped. So what you should do? Okay. Obviously you cannot do all the rituals of the Hajj, but at least you can do one thing, which means you can have the sacrifice done in your name. You cannot go and do the sacrifice, but you can let somebody else do the sacrifice for you. So that is what being said here.
So the people of the ship, did they do the sacrifice?
Yeah, this is the order. So So they sent the money with someone, or maybe the government official came and they collected all the money for the sacrifice, and then they went and did the sacrifice in their names. So because this is the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And here the word is used, and I'll explain to you, famas taisara. Taisara means something to do with easiness. Like yassarna al-Quran, yassara means to make something easy. Whatever is easily you can do, okay? You can do the qurbani or sacrifice. So that is the next few words are saying that. Okay? So fa means so, and ma means whatever. So whatever. Fama means so whatever. Okay? And the next word starts with these three letters, ya, sin and ra, yasara. Okay? Yasara means to make easy or to be easy. Those the qaidas when you read in the beginning, they say yassarna al-Quran. This Quran made easy, and they teach the AlBaqarah and all those things. So yassara means to something easy, to be easy. Okay. Now we add three letters in there: alif, sin, and ta. Ista, and these three letters are there. And this means to be available easily. Easily. Means one is to be easy, or something is to make it easy, or to be making easily available something. Istai sara. If you pronounce this is istai sara. That's the word in the Quran. Okay. Famas taisara, fama, and istaisara is this word. So whatever is easily available. You don't have to really say, oh no, I'm going to sacrifice the best cow, or I'm going to do this thing. You have no choice. You are limited. If you have some money, whatever easily you can send somebody else to do the sacrifice on your behalf, you do, because you cannot go and do anything. Okay, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that even in a situation like that, you do sacrifice, then it's up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will accept all your intention of performing the Hajj. Okay, even though if you could not perform the Hajj. So that is what meaning, famas taisara. So whatever is easily made available. Okay, so that is these two words. So whatever is easily available. Okay. Easily available of what? The next two words are explaining that is so the word ha, dal and ya. Hadiyun means sacrifice, the animal of sacrifice. The word we say hadiya, hadiyun. Hadiyun means animal of sacrifice, like a goat or a lamb or whatever you can sacrifice there. So this is hadiyun means animal of sacrifice. Qurbani. Okay? That is
meaning attached like gift.
That is hadiya. That's also a gift is also the meaning. Hadiyatun is also the meaning gift. So this is actually a gift that you're offering there when you're going for Hajj. Okay? So when you put al before that, Al brings the meaning the animal of sacrifice. Okay. And Al will change two of these into one. So it will become Al Hadiyu. Al Hadiyu means the animal. Okay. Now if we put one more word before that, min. Min means from. From or of. Okay. So whatever from the animal or of the animal of sacrifice is easily available. That's what the meaning of min. Min is a harf jar. Harf jar looks at the last letter and change to a kasra. So it becomes min al hadyi, and that's what the word is in the Quran. Min al hadyi means from the animal of sacrifice. So whatever from the animal of the sacrifice is easily attainable or easily can be done, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that, do that. And here the statement stops, which means it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that go and sacrifice that. Whatever is available, go and do it. Okay? Or let somebody do in your name. Okay? So that is an easiness, a permission has been given. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with His mercy, may accept and give you the reward of a Hajj. Okay? Even though you could not do the Hajj and you stayed in a situation where you could not complete the Hajj. So that is where this command stops. Okay? Minal hadiye, of the animal of sacrifice. Now, in the next part of the ayat, completely different situation of Hajj is being mentioned here. Okay? Which is that if you did not run into a problem and you went there and you started performing the Hajj. Okay? And whatever is the order of the Hajj, you do all those things. Okay? So when you reach towards the last part of the Hajj, which is almost near the end of the Hajj, then this ayat, the next part of the ayat applies. Means you have completed all the rituals of the Hajj. Then the last part. What is the last part? Is that after performing tawaf and after performing the going to Mina and then Arafat and Muzdalifah and coming back, the morning when you come back from Muzdalifah, you're supposed to do two things. Actually, three things. First thing is that, or three things, among the three things is that, one is to shave the head for the man. Next thing is to sacrifice the animal. And third thing they have to do is tawaf ziyarat, which is the last tawaf of the Hajj. They have to go and come back. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that among the first two things,
And stoning
that you do every day. Yeah. So so here what is being said is that you have to do two things. The shave of the head for the man. What's that?
Why is they shaving the hair?
That's part of the sunnah. That's how Prophet ﷺ did all these things. So it's the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to shave the head after all. And shaving does not completely imply that you have to completely, but there are, you making the hair short as well as shaving completely. Both are permitted there. Okay?
Actually, women also take a little bit of haircut.
Women?
Yeah, they take a little bit, more an inch or so.
Is it? Okay.
Like about an inch.
Inch?
Yeah.
Okay. So but are women supposed to do this sacrifice too?
Yeah.
It's for family?
No, everybody has one.
Everyone has to do one.
One for each.
One for each.
There are 5 family members, all 5.
All 5 of them.
Yeah, they said the woman also.
Okay.
And
So
the woman does it.
okay. So here, what is being said that do not shave your head. وَلَا تَحْلِقُوا رُؤُوسَكُمْ. Do not shave your head. حَتَّى يَبْلُغَ الْهَدْيُ مَحِلَّهُ. Until the animal of sacrifice reaches to the place of sacrifice, which is close to Mina, like an hour, half an hour from Mina. So, order is being defined here that
You don't have any more?
no. Okay. So the order is being defined here that first shave the heads and then sacrifice. So this is what this ayat is saying. So let's look at that one. Okay. So the word starts with ha, lam and qaf. Halaqa. This means to shave. Okay. And the word starts with la tahliqu. This is a command. Do not shave. La tahliqu means do not shave. And do not shave. Wa means and. La tahliqu, do not shave. Shave what? So the word is ra, alif and sin, and the noun is ra'asun. Ra'asun means head. Ra'asun means head. Okay. So one head. Okay. Its plural is ru'usun. So means heads. Ru'usun means heads. Okay. And kum means you. Kum is a plural. So kum means you. You all. Plural. Okay. So when you combine these two, the word becomes ru'usukum. By combination, you pronounce only one dhamma here. So it becomes ru'usukum. Ru'usukum means your heads. Okay. Ru'usukum, that's the word by combining these two. So the word becomes ru'usukum. Okay. Initially there were two dhammas on the scene. By the combination rule, only one is left. So ru'usukum means your heads. Okay. Now this word is coming after tahliqu, shaving. Wala tahliqu, and do not shave. So this is the rule is that this is a verb, a command, and this is a noun. Noun is heads. Okay. So when they come together, then this seen change, dhamma changes into a fatha and becomes ru'usakum. That's the rule. So do not shave your heads. Okay, ru'usukum becomes ru'usa because it's coming in this order, a verb and noun together. So your heads. Do not shave your heads. Okay. The word after that is hatta. Hatta means until. Hatta means until. Until something happens. Means do something first and then go for the shaving of heads. Okay. Okay, what is until? What is hatta is doing here? There are two words after that. Okay, which is first one is ba, lam, and ghain. Balagha. Balagha means to reach. To reach somewhere. Balagha. Okay. The word tabligh and balaghat are from the same. Okay. But balagha means to reach. Okay. Yablugha, actually first word is yablughu. Yablughu means it reaches. Yablughu, it means it reaches. What is that? What is here? The second word is al-hadyu. We just saw that. This means animal of sacrifice. The animal. Okay. So until the animal of sacrifice reaches somewhere. Okay. Instead of it, you can say animal of sacrifice reaches. Okay. Animal of sacrifice is taken or reaches to its place where it's supposed to be sacrificed. Okay. So the one thing that point out that hatta changes yablughu to yablugha. Okay. Hatta is doing that. So until the animal of sacrifice reaches where? Where does it reaches? Mahilla. Okay. Mahilla, now the halal is to slaughter. Mahilla is the place of slaughter, like slaughterhouse. Okay. So few miles from Mina is this place, this area where people go and sacrifice their animals. So that place is called Mahilla. Mahilla means place of sacrifice. Okay, slaughter place, slaughterhouse where the animal. So do not shave your heads until the sacrifice is done, until the animal is sacrificed. So as soon as, you know, what happens is that people come back from go to Mina, to Arafat, to Muzdalifah, and few days have gone since they started all that, and they have their ihram is dirty, their hair is dirty, messy, and they are unclean, you know. So they come back and immediately they want to take their ihram off and they want to shower and clean and change. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, wait a minute, first do the sacrifice, okay, and then do all these things. Okay, so that is what is being said, that wait, if animal reaches there, so if you cannot go and someone in your family is going to slaughter, so wait until the slaughtering is done, then clean up yourself, then change, shave your head and wash up and get fresh. Okay, because one ritual is still unfinished, which is sacrifice. Okay, so this is what is until the animal of sacrifice reaches to mahilla. Mahillatun means place of sacrifice. Until the animal reaches to slaughter place or slaughterhouse. Which is basically a ground, and you know that's where all the animals are sacrificed. Okay, so this is the order of the sacrifice. Okay. Now again, after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving a permission to those people who cannot shave their heads for some reason. Okay? Either they are sick, okay, or they have some sickness in the head. So if they try to shave or cut the hair, it will hurt them more. So what is to be done in a situation like that? So that's what the second part of the ayat says. Faman kana, so whosoever, minkum, among you, among the people who are there performing Hajj, maridon, marid means is a sick, okay? Aw bihi adam mir ra'asihi. Azam means some hurt. Aziyat or azan means some hurting or some difficulty in the head. Mir ra'asihi, in the head. So if that happens, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making it easy for you. You don't have to shave your head. But instead of that, because shaving head is a part of the Hajj, it is a ritual. If you miss one of those, then there is a compensation for that. You have to do something. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you a choice that it's fidya, it's ransom, it's payment of missing this shaving head is either a siyam, siyam is a fast. You can fast. Or sadaqah, or you can give some charity. Or nusuk, or you can do a sacrifice, another sacrifice. Okay? So you can make up for that thing you're going to miss if your head has some hurt or some disease or some problem. Okay? So that is what the ayat says. So faman kana. Okay? So these are fa, man and kana. Fa means so, man means whoever, kana means is. So whoever is. Okay. The next word is minkum. Minkum means among you. Among you all, if someone got sick, okay, so what is maridun? Okay, maridun means a sick person. So a person is fell sick there. Okay. So whoever is among you, you all fell sick. Okay. So that's the first condition. Sickness can be of any kind which prevents you from doing these additional things. Okay. Or his hurt, there's a hurt in his head, means he has some wound or something that is going to hurt more if he does the shave. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the second part is saying, Aw bihi azam. Or, aw means or. The first word is aw. Aw means or. Be and he. Be means with, and who is him. Okay, but when you recite be with who, the who is pronounced as he. Be he. Be he means with him. Or with him. What is with him? Azan. Alif, dal and ya. Azan means hurt. Taklif. Hurting, pain, or suffering, or something that is hurting him. So if someone touches his head, it's going to hurt him more. So that is what hurt is. Okay? Hurt where? Min ra'asihi. We just saw this word. Ra'asun means head. Ra'asun means head. who means his, and min means of. So separately, these are three words. Min means of, ra'asun means head, who means his. Okay? So when you combine these two, it will become ra'asuhu, his head. And min is a harf jar, it will change to ra'asi. It becomes min ra'asihi. And when you pronounce, you do not pronounce noon, you pronounce mir ra'asihi. Because ra changes the sound of noon, mir ra'asihi. Of his head. Or he has hurt of his head. Mir ra'asihi. Okay, either he is sick, marid, or he has hurt in his head. Okay. So the word is fa fidyatun. Fa means then. Fidyatun means payment or ransom. Okay, compensation. Okay. So fidya commonly used as the ransom or payment. So these are two words. Fa means then, and fidyatun ransom or payment. Okay. So what is the payment of not or the compensation or ransom or fidya for not shaving the head? Okay. Those are listed. Three options are given here. Okay. First thing is that you can fast a day there. Siyam means fasting. Okay. So the ransom is what? Min means of fasting. Siyam is fasting. O means or. You don't have to do all of these things, just one of these three things. Sadaqah. Sadaqah means give some charity. And again O or nusuk. Nusuk means sacrifice. Okay, so these are the easy things Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making easy for you, that during the Hajj, if any situation like this arises, then you can do all these things. Okay.
Excuse me. There's some people when they can't go to Hajj, like they're old or they're sick, they send someone else for like their child or somebody to perform the Hajj for them.
Yeah.
They can do that?
Yeah,
They
that's
can
called Hajj.
just
Yeah,
send
that's
someone-
called Hajj Badal. Yeah, Hajj Badal is someone else can perform Hajj in place of you by you paying for the expenses.
You pay the whole expenses?
You pay all the expenses, and he is physically going or she is physically going there, and she performs the Hajj. Okay, that's called Hajj Badal. If a person cannot go, then somebody else can perform in his place. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is merciful, He will reward both of them.
But in the surah it says to sacrifice the animal only.
Which surah?
This right here. If you cannot perform the Hajj, then you...
No, but this is a different situation.
This is only when you reach there?
When only you reach there and you cannot get and perform the Hajj. This is prevented means you have reached there and for some reason you don't know, when you were leaving you did not know, it might happen, then you do only that. Okay? But if someone from home is going, somebody else is being sent, That's called Hajj Badal. That's permissible. Okay, on Salatul Badal is not permissible. Yeah, somebody else cannot pray Salat for you, but somebody can perform Hajj for you.
So that's okay. That's okay.
Hajj Badal is permitted only. That's what I'm saying. Salat prayer cannot be, that somebody else is praying for you and you are staying home. You cannot do that. Only Hajj is permitted. Only under the condition that the person himself or herself cannot do that. If he is healthy and well, no, he or she should go.
What happened in case the person will pass away?
People still do Hajj.
Do it Hajj for them, right? That's still,
for the deceased person.
yeah.
At least that's what my
You can still do it.
Somebody's parents passed away
They can't afford it.
and they could not afford, but the children are rich, and if they want, they can send somebody else to do the Hajj Badal for their parents. This is permissible. Other worships are not permissible. That you just cannot fast for somebody else, or you cannot pray 5 times prayer for somebody else.
Is that going to conflict? Because Hajj was saying that when you do perform Hajj, that means your sin is clean. But the deceived people already, how does that work? The combination.
What Prophet ﷺ said basically was, one guy came in and said, my dad could not perform the Hajj. And what Prophet ﷺ answered him was, if there was a debt that your father owed to somebody, would you pay him? Would you make it? And he said yes. He says, then go ahead and pay off the debt. So this is the debt to God, which the people have to do it.
So Hajj is permitted.
Okay.
As I said, I don't know about other forms of worships cannot be exchanged, but Hajj can be. Only if the person himself or herself cannot go, then somebody else. But if you're healthy, staying home, don't want to travel, don't have time, you cannot send somebody else.
But for fasting also, if you're sick and you're unable to do it, then you send sadaqah.
You're right, but you're not telling somebody else to fast for you.
No.
Right? So that's a different thing. That's called fidya again. Yeah, that is permissible, but you cannot say to somebody else, okay, I'll give you money and you fast. You cannot do that. You have a question?
Even if your parent is passed, you can make Hajj still for them?
You can make yourself, or you can send somebody else, pay for that, the expenses.
Whoever you send has to have done Hajj on his own previously.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
he has to complete his own first,
Yeah.
and then do it.
Then you can send him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can send a person who has never done the Hajj. So if you go for Hajj yourself, you have to do your own Hajj first, then you can do for your parents or anybody.
In the same trip?
No,
No,
separate.
Because it's only one day, right? You can't do it.
Umrah you can
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, Umrah.
Umrah you can do.
But
many,
Hajj
many
is
times.
once a year.
Yeah.
So only that time, that day.
Yeah, it's the day of Arafat.
Yeah,
It's
that's the main
Inshallah, we
main
stop
thing.
there.